to give them enough room to work as far as setting them in place. I don't know that they'd lift them from the side. I think they would lift them from the top. The only thing I think sticking out between the two sets then would be the anchor. I mean, it's got to be part of the anchor bolt sticking out on the back side. But
why wouldn't you be able to butt them together and have your bolts go clear through? And
go through both bolts?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
The only thing I can think of would be the frost consideration. That you'd have, that would allow a little bit of flexing.
I think the other problem would be trying to get them, I mean, they've got some, I'm not sure they're built all that consistent as far as length, and then there's even the tongue and groove part, how tight that fits together. If you had one that was, out a ½ inch, the other one ½ inch the other way, and you're trying to get the anchor bolt between the two halves, I think it might be an issue trying to get them bolted through. But I'm sure at one time they used to space them far enough apart to get between them. So whether this is something that developed in the last few years, but pictures he sent me, there were some from BV, Dickinson, Woodbury.
What about Carroll?
I don't remember seeing one from Carroll.
Because we had been told that they were a significant customer there.
But again, he sent them all as separate emails, and I opened a couple of them and looked at a few of the pictures, and I didn't get time to look at them all, but I don't remember Carroll being one of them. But and not that he sent me every one they've done either. But at the engineers conference in a couple of weeks, he'll be there along with the display, and I plan to get in the corner and visit with him a little bit, and then somebody else telling me I'm going to get all of their engineers or their technicians and see what issues are, how they like things, how they're going to go on.
Your number 4 there, that's going to be the first activity in Sac County then?
Yeah. Well, I have to look at the letting bulletin and see that last 3 miles in Calhoun County they're going to let in February. Right now it's targeted for February letting. They've got that 3 miles of grading, and then they've got a reinforced concrete box culvert, a twin box over DD number 1.
What about the bridging over Cedar? That's about 3 miles into Sac County.
Well, that would probably be. He just said the first letting in Sac County is right now targeted for April. There'll be several different projects let between April through July, maybe even later. But Dakin said that all the grading through Sac should be let. Hopefully, they're going to have it all let by next year this time. So
there'll be a lot of dirt activity.
But I noticed in Calhoun, I didn't remember it being that far back, but the grading on the majority of that through Calhoun County was actually let in the summer of 2007. So they had almost 2 years to. And the one contractor, I don't think he did anything hardly in 2008 at all. I don't think he started till last spring. He might have did a little bit last fall, but they give him a fairly long window to do that. And weather-wise too, I guess I haven't looked at it.
And I guess you've got a little experience in Calhoun County already. How tough is that on the current road system?
The grading has not really been real bad. Basically, they included in the designed in the plans that they can't close 2 consecutive roads at the same time. So if they've got one gravel road closed, the ones on either side should be open. So anybody trying to get across just has a mile to go to get across. Through the grading, we haven't really hardly had any complaints, I guess,
Good.
of issues. I think it's going to be more of a problem when you get into the paving, because they had hoped to get started paving at the Webster County line this fall, and then with all the rain they got pushed back with their other projects, and so they decided to quit. But they hauled that 6 or 8 inches of rock out on the road first, and now next spring is when they'll be hauling that then, and it comes down our D26, and then they'll drop a mile and a half south on our gravel roads to get to Highway 20. So we're going to get a lot of heavy truck traffic on our gravel roads in the spring, which we'd like to avoid. But I think we're going to see more issues with trying to keep the roads in shape with all that rock being hauled in.
And the you know, like as we had with asphalt when we were working on D15, when they start hauling cement, that's going to be a lot.
Yeah, because the concrete will also be hauled in that way too. At least on the first lane. Once they get the one lane done, then they'll be able to jump, you know, on
Will they haul it down?
on their own pavement and haul it down the road, yeah. But I think there's going to be more issues with the paving part as far as just tearing up our roads. I don't expect the access across the road to be any worse than it is now.
Any other issues for the?
Did you make a list a little bit, the price difference on some of those culverts we already have?
I was going to ask you about how many of them you, the list I had went back to 2002, which was the year we did the 2-box culverts up here on the north side of
Cedar.
the north side of 4.
And you compare that with what would it cost if we would have had the precast compared to...
Well, and there's a couple contractors on here, I'm not sure, you know, whether they were bidding precast or they're bidding cast in place. Some of them, you know, from past experience what they're planning on using, and the other ones I would just sort of guessing on some of them. There was one contractor around here I was going to call and ask him whether he typically did precast or cast in place to make my information a little more accurate.
I get approached with that all the time.
Are you in a hurry for that? I mean, can I get to you? How far? I guess how far back would you like to see that?
Oh, just to me, just 3 or 4.
I mean, if I got you a copy of what I had here, some of these,
there you have it marked as precast.
yeah, see, I pretty well know, well, of course, he was Lowell, they did it, and that was precast, and I'm pretty sure these people were precast, and Richards would have been precast. This guy here, I guess I'm not sure. Graves is typically a cast in place, and so is Dixon, so is Christensen Brothers. And I would assume Goverson Smith was too. But, and again, I probably should put, that's my best guess.
And these have been awarded to these companies.
Well,
These
were all the people that bid on those,
Oh,
on
that's
that
what
project.
it is.
We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 bidders on that one, and
Okay.
8 on that one too. But of course, this is the guy that got the project.
And he had precast.
Yep. Yep.
But he didn't get them from here? Or?
Yeah, he got it from Lakeview. Yep. That was just a single 10 to 12.